All right, this question is to be continued. It would help if it was question 2, but it's not. So now we have to look at the first section, so we're going back to the original values that we had. So VI is 0, A is 30, VF is 60, T is 2. What does that tell you about what we can do with this? What do we want to know? Displacement. So what equations can we use? How many values do we have here? How many do we need?
3.
So we can use any equation here, providing it has D in it. Okay, so I'm going to choose to use D equals VIT plus AT squared over 2. VI is 0, so it doesn't matter what T is, plus 30, 2 squared divided by 2, which equals 60 metres. D total, I might call that, say, D1. I might call this over here, this 180 D2, equals D1 plus D2. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, D1? I think I am, D2. It's 240 metres. Yes. Yep, the other equation. Fine. Yep, no problem with that. I just prefer to use that one because I knew that VI was going to be 0. So
We had that answer and stuff. But we just don't know how we got it.
a broken clock's right twice a day. Ryan, that's how.
Everyone just get it.
Even though you got it working wrong, you still can get it right.
We didn't guess it.
Oh, you didn't guess?
No, they went 30 times 2. They went 30 times 2, which,
Did you guys do distance?
yeah.
You guys do distance equal to VI?
Oh, that's right. I have no idea.
That's what we did.
Even a broken clock's right twice a day.
Did you get 60? Oh, yeah. Did you get 62? Oh, wait, what? How? How'd you guys?
Yeah, don't ask now.
Alright, what do we want? Time to the max. Now I've had one group ask me, how do we assume that, do we assume the final velocity and the initial velocity is 0? Because the initial velocity at the start is 0, the final velocity is 0. Should we do that? What's the way we should approach this problem?
I'll figure out the time for each segment.
Yep, so do we know the time for segment 1?
Yes.
What's it? So T tot equals T1 plus T2. I've used my bananas in pyjamas jokes up, so I'm not going to use that again. Do we know time 1? Ryan's like, finally, jokes I get. 2 seconds, very good. So we need to find T2. How do we find T2? It's in the shops. It's the tea shop.
No more jokes, please.
Okay. The tea enthusiast got that one.
Maybe 2.
How do we find T2? What do we use?
Yeah, because there's 2.
Well, we can use anything because we know that A equals negative 10. We know that VI equals 60. We know VF equals 0. We know that D equals 180. So we can use any equation. Which equation is by far the easiest? VF equals VI plus AT. I've showed you how to rearrange without subbing the numbers in. Now I'm going to show you how to rearrange with subbing the numbers in. This will be easier just because the equation's easier, so don't think that because it looks simpler. It is.
Always do rearranging on the thing.
Yep.
No, I find that a lot easier.
I find it easier too, but some people don't.
Sure. Isn't the distance 240?
That's fine. This is for the same segment.
Oh,
No, doing it with
Reverse bomb dash, Ryan, what should we attack first? The negative 10 times or the plus 60?
the plus 60.
How do we get rid of plus 60?
Take 60.
From both sides. We're left with negative 60 equals 10t. How do we get rid of the negative 10t? How do we get rid of the negative? Very good, I'm glad you said plus 10. What's the misconception Ryan's had there? That's a fair misconception, I see it quite a lot. Yep.
because there's a negative, it's negative 10, he thinks you can just take away the 10.
He thinks to subtract 10,
Yeah.
but a convention's caused him to make this mistake. the convention is when we don't write anything between our numbers and our symbols, what's actually going on in there? Times, okay? So I hate that convention, but again, that's one of the conventions we have. Yep. We divide both sides by -10, and I'll ask you again, why is it important that our acceleration is negative? Time equals -60 divided by -10, which equals -6 seconds. Time total therefore equals 8 seconds. 2 plus 6 equals 8 seconds. In a second, yeah.
8 seconds down.
Now, that is as complicated as you are expected to go with these problems. There was quite a lot in that. The challenging component is finding information that's not explicitly written. So what was an example of finding some information in that question that wasn't explicitly written?
The second acceleration.
Second acceleration, they didn't tell you that. So you have to know that this is happening on Earth. What else? Yep, so that's the -10, so gravity. What else do we know? What else was not written that we needed to know? Going up. Yep, and what happens at the top of the travel? It stops. So we know that VF equals 0. Very good.
The parachute doesn't do anything.
Parachute doesn't do anything. It's only there to confuse us. Now, when you've got 4 panels of board work, that's how you know you're progressing with your work. There's a bit in that. That's the challenging component of the course. If you can get your head around that and you're feeling pretty confident, really, really good. Okay? Sweet. I can't believe I just told you all what was on the exam.